Welcome to a new episode of Hacks and Hobbies with your host, Junaid Ahmed.
Welcome back to a new episode of Hacks and Hobbies. In the last episode, I talked about adding sugar water to the beehives and how the population and the hives are doing. And although I haven't had a chance to go back in and check what's going on, the weather's been pretty on and off with thunder, thunderstorms and super sunny. Besides, been busy with some other summer activities. So I was hoping this weekend would have been it, but unfortunately, I am traveling. Hmm. Anyhow, today is a brand new day, August 8th, 2018, and I was surprised, not surprised, but I've been following Anchor on Medium and other places where they post information. And just today, they announced listener support. Now, this is not a new concept. They've combined some of the things from other places and they brought this methodology, mindset to their own platform. Currently, something similar is available on Patreon, where you can donate a certain amount of money on a monthly basis to a certain cause or a certain artist that you love. Kickstarter has not so similar model, but you're basically donating or putting backing um, to support a project. Uh, this model is also available or popularized on Twitch. Twitch is a video streaming platform where gamers stream their gaming on on the Twitch app, and you can follow along and watch other people play your favorite games. It's pretty exciting. Uh, 2 years ago, when No Man's Sky came out, I was totally addicted to the game. I played it continuously when I was not working. But then I discovered a gamer that was playing the same game, and he was much further off than where I had been in my gaming progress. And it was just amazing because his goal was to find the the center of the universe that No Man's Sky created. Anyhow, so what is listener support? Listener support enables podcasts like this one and other podcasts to have the listeners of the podcast uh, donate some amount of money as a support, as supporting the creator, the podcaster, and spending more time into the crafting of their podcast, and sort of a way to monetize on the platform. Now, they are using Stripe as the payment provider. Um, as soon as I read about this, I was like, let me turn this feature on, see what needs to be done. So I went into my dashboard for Anchor, clicked on the big button that says Activate Listener Support, which then takes you to setting up a Stripe account. Before you do that, I think they ask you for your phone number and you verify your identity by punching in the six-digit code, and then you link your Anchor account with a newly created Stripe account. So whenever a listener support wants to pay 99 cents, 3.99 or $10 per month towards a podcast, they simply go through the process of using Stripe to make a payment, and voila, it's done. Now, Stripe has a fee structure. They charge a percentage per transaction, plus there's some additional fee amount associated for each transaction, because after all, this is a credit card payment. So those platforms require some sort of um, fee structures laid out around credit card payments. So I thought this is pretty nice. It will definitely incentivize the podcast creator to invest some more time into creating good quality content, and in the hopes that maybe the listeners enjoy what they're listening to, and go ahead and pay a dollar per month. Hey, it's a dollar a month. I spend more money than that on coffee per day. What's a dollar? So something like that, right? It's so not too bad, pretty exciting. Let's see what happens, and how other people report um, how profitable they're being. So my goal is to bring in some more content, bring in some more personal experiences that deal with hobbies and that deal with hacks. Talking about hacks, I haven't talked much about hacks. IKEA hacks are some of my favorite ones, and that was directly from a friend of mine. Now, IKEA makes some really cool equipment, furniture. One specific furniture that they have is a lack side table. These tables are the the measurements on these tables are is very interesting. It's exactly 19 inches between the legs, which enables it to be a perfect rack mount. And I've seen people hack this lack table to be used as a rack mounted hardware holder. And I think it's a great thing. Will I ever use it in that scenario or in that configuration? Maybe, maybe not. One hack that I was thinking about, I was like, I need to talk about this hack. It's pretty neat. It's very simple. So we're all used to plastic hangers and hang our clothes, and most of the times the clothes fit, and they don't fall off the hanger. But a lot of times, especially if you have kids' clothes and kids' hangers are smaller, clothes, t-shirts, small shirts, they fall off of the hangers quite easily. So this quick little hack, you take a pair of rubber bands, two rubber bands, and put them on either end of the hanger. Now when you hang a shirt or a t-shirt, it'll stay because friction, right? 2018, we're still using friction, obviously. Anyhow, that was a little quick hack. Um, in the hobbies arena, I just talked about earlier on the bee situation, the bee update. Cycling area, I haven't done more than 3 rides this entire year, but I do plan on getting some more rides in later this month. Um, Maybe more rides in next month. I am not participating in any Century rides this year. Although if I work hard enough, I could probably make it to the Salisbury Century ride up in Olney, Maryland. Um, sorry, Salisbury, Maryland, at the Salisbury University. They do this century ride. They call it the Seagull Century. They do it every year. And last year I participated. Um, I had some bad experiences. I mean, it's not really bad experience, but I got left behind from my group, my Peloton, and I was just never able to catch up to them, which was sort of annoying to me. Uh, and the biggest reason why I stopped and why I got left behind is because uh, at the start of the ride, we were a total of 20 or 18 people. Started the ride, we decided each person is going to stick around with another person. And the person I was supposed to stick around with, well, so he decided that there was something wrong with his seat and he stopped while the Peloton was moving at a pretty good speed. And so I was like, "Oh shoot, I should stop too." And for no, I stopped as well, and I was like, "Should I go to him? What's going on?" And in front of me, I see my Peloton leaving, the entire team Peloton, which was helping with providing cover from the wind. And I was like, "All right, I guess it's a loss." And there's no way to catch up to a train, especially when it's going at a cruising speed, unless you have a lot of power or a motorcycle or a horse. You cannot catch up to that train. And I was on a bike. And I was like, all right, I guess I'm going to have to do it alone. Century ride alone. And century ride or cycling, riding with a group, is mostly a solo sport, as I mentioned in my cycling episode, the first cycling after 8 months. It is a solo sport. Like literally, you're with a team, so you could gain some momentum and save some energy. You ride with a team, and a perfectly balanced and well-tuned team. You'll see rider from the back breaking off and going to the front and taking over. Um, Pushing through the wind. There's a term for it that I cannot remember because I haven't ridden in so long. Yes, they start pulling the entire peloton, and they take the brunt of the drag forces against them, reducing drag for anybody drafting behind the person who's pulling. So I lost that advantage, and I was just like to this day I'm talking about this. It's been over a year, well, less than a year, but still talking about it because that experience was not something I was happy with. Not happy with that at all. Next time, I will not pick anybody as a partner because, again, it is a solo sport, and my goal should be to stick with the peloton the entire time. There's been other people, newcomers, that joined the team last year, and they worked super hard and they are top performers right now, like super top performers, um, biking wise. I lost my fitness and I hope to gain it back next year. That's my goal. So gotta amp up on training. What talking about training? I paid trainer road the whole 1 year training, $50, right? I have not used that once this year, and that is quite disappointing. Could have used that $50 towards a nice microphone. Oh well, what happens, happens, right? There's only the future, only looking forward, moving forward. Talking about moving forward, Luke Cage just came back, season 2, and I have not seen it. I think that needs to go on the agenda. Pronto. Pronto, I say. All right. That is all for this portion. In the next portion of this podcast, I'll talk a little bit about smart home and smart home hacks and how that works. So stick around. All right, so I wanted to talk about smart homes. And yes, I've spent some time last year when I was upgrading the lighting situation in my home, and I went ahead and added HomeKit support. Now, I know smart homes have been around for over 15 years, starting with Z-Waves technology and other wireless technologies that enable you to turn on and off lights using a central hub and central unit. But I never bought into that, and I heard, and as you probably have heard, that those systems were easily hackable. When I was deciding to make my home a smart home with smart lights and smart switches, smart fans, I decided to stick with HomeKit. Now, I am primarily an Apple device user, so I said, hey, I use Apple devices everywhere. Why change now and go to Android or, sorry, Google Home or Amazon? So I did lots of research and I went to, of course, the Apple Store site and I said, okay, what are your HomeKit enabled devices? What can I get that's going to make my life easier and make me HomeKit compatible? So I found Lutron's Caseta wireless system. Lutron's Caseta wireless system, they have their own hub. They use a clear messaging technology that's encrypted and it only works with their own devices. So a lot less noise. Not every switch shows up on your Wi-Fi router. All the communication is handled by this hub. Now, the other thing that's great about HomeKit is that not only does HomeKit use wireless security, encrypted connection to the hub, to the Wi-Fi router, but they also use Bluetooth authentication to authenticate the first time around you add the hub to your HomeKit. And that's one of the reasons why there's a lack of HomeKit devices. Plus, it's only been 3+ years since HomeKit was announced, maybe more. So I decided to do all HomeKit. Um, I've got tons of HomeKit enabled Lutron Caseta wireless, Lutron Caseta switches with dimming capability all around the house. So at nighttime, when I'm ready to go to sleep, I just have a scene set up. I tell Siri, "Hey Siri, good night," and Siri sets the scene by making sure all the lights are turned off. I do leave the front door light on in case somebody's coming at night over. They're not fumbling and they're not hanging out in the dark. So that's what I did with the lighting. And then Prime Day comes around, July 16th. And I was like, all right, let's see what deals you got, Amazon. And they had Amazon Alexa, Amazon Echo on sale, up to 50% off. I was like, holy smokes, these things go for a lot of money. Let me get a couple because I also have AirPlay speakers all throughout the house. I have two, one in the basement, one in the library, one in the family room, living room, kids room, and the master bedroom. So I have AirPlay speakers all around the house that I can play music to from my iPhone anytime I want. So I said, well, let's see what Alexa can do for us. Alexa will, you know, will connect to these speakers and I can play music all around the house just talking to Alexa. So I bought 8 Alexa devices. Two of them I reserved to gift to somebody else. 8 Alexa devices, four of them were the Amazon Echo devices, and two of them were the Echo Dots. And I figured the Echo Dots can go in the kids' room, and can go in probably the library. All right, so I was like, all right, that sounds like a good plan. Let's hook up an Alexa box and see how this works. I hook it up, start using it, start configuring it in the on my iPhone app, on my iPhone using the Alexa app, and I'm looking for a connection, a skill to connect with my Apple Music because I have an Apple Music subscription for a few years. I've got a good library set up there. Apple Music understands the type of music I like. They recommend good music choices every week. So I was like, I want to connect with that, and I have good playlists set up for my sons, and I'm looking for the Alexa skill to connect with Apple Music. And of course, it's not there. Why would it be there? Apple isn't Apple iTunes is in competition with Amazon Music. Of course, Amazon has to have their own music service, right? So they're like, we have Amazon Music Unlimited. Anytime my sons ask for a song to play, they're like, well, you do not have the Amazon Unlimited, but we'll play a 30-second lick of the song. And I was like, oh my God, no, I am not doing this. I'm already paying Apple for all this. I spent a lot of time, a lot of effort in making sure that everything smart home wise I get is smart home compatible, is Apple compatible. So I decided, you know what? Alexa's not going to do it for me. I could probably use Alexa as a platform to um, get a podcast out there or some kind of skill setup, but I'm not going to be using it in my home. So I had only opened one box, so I packed that up, put all the other boxes in all one big box, went to Amazon.com and said, okay, I'm going to return these 6 devices. And they're like, why? I'm like, well, I just don't want them. And of course, I paid $11 in return shipping, but I'm happy to do that to get these Alexa boxes out of my house. So, why am I talking about smart home? Well, earlier this year or last year, Apple introduced HomePod, and I've been wanting to get one. It did came out and was available to purchase earlier this year. I just never got around to purchasing it because it is a much more heftier investment. I mean, I was able to pick up an Alexa box for $50, an Alexa speaker. Sound quality is all right, but the Apple HomePod is much more powerful. It's got 7 tweeters, a subwoofer. I mean, the sound quality is just amazing. It is first and foremost a speaker, and secondly, a Siri speaker, right? And we will definitely see evolution in the space of where Siri goes. And I think with iOS 12, we're seeing a lot of these things coming into being. Um, Apple is calling them Siri shortcuts. And in these shortcuts, you can string together a lot of different workflows. So when you ask Siri to do something, she can do 10 different things all by following this script. So I was like, you know what? I spent so much time and effort and research into making sure that I'm a Apple HomeKit home. Let's stick to that. So just recently I was able to pick up a HomePod for a much cheaper price. Instead of paying $360, I paid $240 thanks to a discount coupon that was active on eBay yesterday. So I was like, you know what? I'm going all in. Just do it. And now I'm hoping that later this year, when the next generation of the iPhones come out and the final version of iOS 12 drops, that Apple will also be introducing a new second generation HomePod, or a HomePod Mini, so to say, right? So they started with the big iPad, then we have the iPad Mini. I know iPad Mini is gone now, but there is a possibility that you have a smaller HomePod, a HomePod Mini. So that's my speculation, and that's why I wanted to talk a little bit about smart home. And once I have the HomePod set up, my kids can talk to it and request the music and playlist that they love to play, and we can also they can also make phone calls to me using the HomePod. So all they'll have to say is, "Hey Siri, call my dad," and it'll know who their dad is and give me a call on my phone. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to get this smart home a little upgrade.
That means. If you like, I can search the web for I'm pretty good.
Yep, that was the good old Siri. Well, so that's my journey of hacking together a formidable solution using the HomeKit devices. The only thing that is lacking is smartly controlled fans. I didn't spend too much time in researching fans. All I was looking at were uh, fan controllers, because I was like, if I can control lights with this smart switch, I should be able to pick up any fan and plug in a smart switch in front of it and control fans. But well, fans work differently than lights. Lights only have an on-off switch with some dimmer functionality. Fans have multiple speeds where they're getting different rate of electricity to turn on and off the fan, the speed. Anyhow, I did though find that Hunter Hunter makes some smart fans that work with AirPlay, sorry, with HomeKit. So I know I'm not going to be upgrading any fans, but there might be some solutions that could get me to control these fans smartly. Anyhow, that's all for now. Thank you for listening. Check out the listener support and tell us what you think about it. And thanks for listening. Take care and have a good day.